This part here, what I'm going to do is actually grind the tip of this off. I don't know if you can see it too good. Let me try a better background. Like the very end, so that it would allow the pawl to go down further, and this guy right here. So I'm going to do that for a minute. I'm going to probably use my Dremel. Just going to use this like a round grinding wheel, just kind of go over the top of it. Alright, good. Okay, now I got it smoothed down. I don't know if you can tell, but it's almost flush, a little bit less than perfectly flush. So that's this part. Now this part here, we want to be able to like elongate this area right in here on both sides. We want to make it as flat and even as possible, which will allow this pawl, which slides up and down in here, to get down better where the track is for the second gear, so that it engages it more. And I've already started a little bit, but it's going to take a bit, and the only way I'm able to do it is with the magical carbide bit you can get for your Dremel. So I'm going to put this in there. It's the only thing that's going to work. Maybe those other tips that are like a stone or something, they might work as well, but I love my carbide tip. Alright, anyway, back in a minute. Okay, I got one side done, and it can be seen like, well, maybe you can't see it too great in the video, but right underneath here there's clearance now, because I only did one side so far, and the other side is what's holding it up. But I made the radiuses much more square to avoid it trying to like push this pawl out under pressure, under load. So it's more locked in there, and it's not going to want to have a tendency of moving. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side and see if I can get this to line up with like the center of where the mark is that the gear's made on this thing. You should see this on yours as well. You want to get this thing probably close to the center of that as possible, so that and make it so that the edges aren't rounded, so it doesn't want to push this out. You'll see when you look at your own thing. Now that I got it down to where I want it as far as the height, it's right in there. I tried to make the corners more square and less of a radius that was on there originally. And it's just, I guess it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to keep the sides at least straight, because you don't want that thing to have to move other than a straight line all the way up and down the hole that it slides in, or the slot. But one thing I thought I would do is the paw itself, those spots where I marked with the marker, like if they're very square, and they're the ones that are riding up on this rounded area right there, like when it bottoms out, when it goes into second gear. So I'm going to round them a little bit so that it fits more snugly in there, and it has less tendency to want to push its way back out. I'm going to do that next. Probably going to use the Dremel as well, and just kind of radius the edges manually. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so using my drill press and my beloved Dremels, where did they go? I was able to flatten down the side on this pawl so that it wasn't like worn at an angle anymore on both sides. And also, like I said earlier, I rounded the edges a little bit, but it really doesn't make too much difference. And also with the gear, right in there, in the two spots, I also flattened them down so they don't have like an angle where the paw was like jumping out. It was like jumping out when it was in gear, which was really the actual sort of symptom of what was happening. So I'm gonna go try to grind down the cam now, the shifter cam, so that I can get that in the right position. So it places this paw in the right position between the neutral first and second. So let's see how that goes.